UFC Fight Night and what even is it? UFC Fight Night, UFC Atlantic City. Blanchfield versus Fiorot takes place this weekend, and I'm going to go through the full card breakdown and in detail predictions, starting with the early prelim opener of Angel Pacheco versus Callan Loughran. This is a good fight to start off the card. I'm going to go for Callan Loughran easily getting this one done, actually. I think Angel Pacheco is good. He's a good guy, good fighter. 32 years old, wants a career. Trains at New England Cartel. They're usually known for their boxing. But what are they not known as? They're not known for their grappling game, which I think Loughran has the edge over. We see this example with Rob Font, Calvin Kattar. They're good at really good boxing. They're really good boxers, but they can leave openings and they don't have really good leg kick defense. But although they are working on that, we saw it against Kattar and Jackedzi and Rob Font against, Jose Aldo. He took the leg kicks well from Jose. But I'm going to go with Callan Loughran. Danny Silva arguably lost to Joshua Kaliba in his debut a few weeks ago. When we see this guy like Danny Silva, him beat, what's his name? He beat Angel Pacheco in their fight. So Callan Loughran's good. I think he is good, Callan Loughran. Thing is, in his debut, I know you make fun of him because he was shit-talking the crowd or, fingering the crowd, giving the bird, saying fuck you because it was in Paris and he's from Ireland. But he was supposed to fight Yanis Gamorre, a completely different style to Taylor Lapilus, because they needed more fights in the card, so they just switched up 4 opponents and made them all fight each other. He would have smoked Yanis Gamorre's dumbass. Then he got Taylor Lapilus, who's a quite of a secret savage in that division, who went to a competitive decision with Fiorot Basharat. He lost that fight. Debut, whatever. This is early down in the card. I think he'll get an easy first round KO and get it done early. I think I'm going to trust Callan Loughran. We move on up the card. Let's move on from this fight. Jeez. Andre Petroski versus Jacob Malkoun. Who's the favorite? I just want to see what people are thinking here. Jacob Malkoun's a favorite. I'm going to go Andre Petroski. If I'm going to be honest with you, I think Andre Petroski wins. I think he does. As an underdog. I was always thinking this. If it's going to come down to the stand-up. Now, first off, I don't think Malkoun out-grappled Petroski. Petroski's great on the ground. Submitted Malkoun. He submitted Maximov, who was a good fighter at the time, who was in the UFC, Nate Diaz's bro. So I don't think he'll out-grapple Petroski. I don't think Petroski out-grapples Malkoun. I think Malkoun's a big guy. Just don't see it happening. So if it's going to come down to who has the better stand-up and more power, I'm going to have to pick Andre Petroski. I think he had more power on the feet than Jacob Malkoun. My mouth. What the hell? He's more power on the feet than Jacob Malkoun. And I think he's just got better skill on the feet, although he's not good either, Petroski. I'm not saying he's a god on the feet. He sucks. Mikel Pereira smoked him. But you see Jacob Malkoun lose to guys. Oh, yeah, he did lose to Brundage. Bullshit fight, though. But still, he can lose fights. He lost to Brendan Allen in a close fight. He is good, Malkoun. He is good, Malkoun. He is good. But I just don't find him impressive. And if Phil Hawes can KO you in the first round, when, Petroski beat Phil Hawes in a grappling match, Petroski's good. He looked decent against Mearshart. Mearshart's good. Shit all you want on Mearshart, he's good. And he can go on streaks. Petroski beat him and dropped him in the first 2 rounds. Had a bad 3rd round, though. But I think that Petroski is going to be able to find the chin of Malkoun and drop him here and there. Malkoun's good. But AJ Dobson's not great. Maximov's not great. Abdulrazak Al-Hassan, I'm just going to say it is shit now. And, yeah, I'm going to go for Petrosky getting it done. We move on. 29-28 split decision. Close fight. Melissa Gatto versus Victoria Dudakova. I'm going to go Victoria Dudakova. A boring 29-28 decision. Nothing happens. She gets the nod, though, because the UFC want her more. Melissa Gatto has no heart, man. I don't think she has any heart in her, man. Because what has she done? Lost to Ariane Lipski. Not bad. Lipski's pretty good. Split decision as well. Cortez fight, like, what are you doing, man? It's like you're like, oh, Cortez, you can have this win. I'm going to give you this win. First round was, I remember that fight exactly. First round, what's her name, sorry. Gatto had an armbar, looked good round 1. She won round 1. Round 2 and 3, it's either she fucking tore her arm or something out of place, or broke something, or she just completely gassed out. What happened to her? She didn't do anything. She just laid on bottom, accepted defeat, tried robbing a decision off Cortez. That didn't work out. I don't like her fight style. Like, Ciara Eubanks is a good win. Leonardo sucks, though. Dudakova's just gonna pick her apart on the feet. She looked good against Jinyu Frey, who isn't good. But Dudakova wins this, 29-28. She'll want it more than Gatto, who doesn't really want it. And she'll have more heart than Gatto, and I don't think she'll get out-grappled by Gatto, so I'm gonna go Dudakova. We move on. Up the card. How do you say that name? Aslan. Ibo? I think it's Ibo. Who cares? Ibo Aslan versus Anton Turkalj. This is a good one, and I'm going to go Ibo Aslan, but I have some things to say here. Anton Turkalj and Ibo Aslan fought way back in the regional scenes. Not way back, 2020, before they were both in the UFC. Of course, Aslan's making his debut now. I did my research. This is what happened. They both, in their first fight, Anton Turkalj won, but I'll get to that. Ibo Aslan, he, close fight. They're both clinching against the cage, but he drops Anton Turkalj so badly. Fumbles a bit of a finish, but Turkalj survives and rallies back. Close round, but, Anton got dropped badly, nearly finished. And, round 2, he came back. Got a good take. They both kept failing takedowns, by the way, but in that moment, Ibo Aslan dropped him badly, right on his ass. But Turkalj got a good takedown, and he didn't. It's not like he gave. Fuck you, bird. Trying to film a prediction video here. It's not like he just got the back of Aslan. Aslan just gave up the back. This is way back before, though. I don't think Turkalj does it again. And I think this time, if he gets dropped in his ass, which I think he's going to, it's going to be over. So I'm going to go for Ibo Aslan by KO in the first round. Plus, look at their career trajectories. Since that loss, he beat Felix, 6-7, not good. 18-21, not good. 5-9, not good. Beating Cans, I'm going to be honest, but he's winning first round KO wins, and they beat Paulo Hanato Jr., who was 12-2 at the time. This is good. And he's getting first round KOs as well, so I think he'll put away down to Turkalj. Plus Turkalj, lost to Pedro by first round KO. Not looking good here for him. Lost to Petrino in a really weird fight where he lost, whatever. And then he lost to Almeida. Him coming off a KO loss, facing a guy that has KO wins in the first round. Screams red flags to me. So I'm going to go for Ibo Aslan. We move on. Up the card. Connor Matthews versus Dennis Bazooka. I would go Connor Matthews, but he fucking lost to Francis Marshall. So I don't really know. But Dennis Bazooka's shit. But he has returned, Connor Matthews. He has returned with something. You know? Like, he has returned, like, with 2 good wins. Over a 10-0 Jair Fiorot. You know? This is a good win. And he did lose to Francis Marshall, though. That's the thing. But Dennis Bazooka is just a failed project, man. Because, you know, he fights Sean Woodson. Close fight, he loses. Gets KO'd. These are good opponents, though. That's the thing. He has been fed up. Like really tough opponents. He is good. Lost to Melsik Bagdasaryan back in the contender series as well. This guy is a failed project, man. I think he really is, but I think he can win, but I don't know. Like, he trains at a good gym. It's not like he's some unknown gym. He's not good. He trains at Sarah and Weidman. Sarah Longo Weidman. Whatever it's called. So he trains at a good gym. With Aljo and Marab. But he just doesn't have the skills, I don't think. Do I trust him to beat Connor Matthews? I don't know. Fuck. I don't know who to pick here. I was thinking Matthews, but he can't. I don't know. This is one of these stupid bitch fights I have to fucking predict. 50-50 either way. Bazooka, you're so bad, man. I'm gonna go Connor Matthews. I trust him more in his improvements. Yeah, I'm gonna pick Matthews to win each department. I just don't see where Bazooka's good other than holding you up against the fence. We move on. Up the card. And that's that done. Julio Arce versus Herbert Burns. This will be the easiest fight on the card to predict. Julio Arce is gonna win this fight. I just said that. Why not switch it up a bit? I don't know if it's going to be the easiest fight, but I think he wins. Julio Arce is good. Herbert Burns is just shit. You're not Gilbert Burns, like you're not Gilbert Burns at all. You're not. Just because you look like him doesn't mean you are him. You'd suck. Like, you lost to Bill Algeo, quit. Gilbert Burns would never quit. You know? Bill Algeo beat him. Daniel Pineda beat him. He beat Landwehr by fluke. Just to be honest. And Landwehr's not really that great. We'll get to him in a second. And Evan Dunham is just past his prime. So I'm going to go for Arce. Good striker. Good takedown defense. Lost to Montel Jackson. A close fight, you know. Close fight. He did lose, but it was a close fight. And he lost to Song Yadong as well. But Daniel Santos is a solid win. Scolded him over 3 rounds. I'll go with Arce. I think he gets it done. We move on. Up the card. Verna Jandaroba versus Lupita Godinez. Jandaroba's impressed me recently, I'm going to be honest. Yeah, recently she's impressed me. With her performances. Where I'm kind of like, oh, shit. You know? Because she beat Marina Rodriguez almost a year ago now. Holy shit, time's flying. Almost a year ago. 10 months ago. 9 months ago. She beat Marina Rodriguez. Destroyed her on the ground. Well, then she beat Angela Hill. Destroyed her on the ground. I don't think she'll do it to Godinez, though. So, in that case, I'm going to go Lupita Godinez. Because I don't think Jandaroba has any good stand-up. You know? Because, you know, we see Amanda Hebos, who I don't think is that good anymore, to be honest. I don't think she was ever good. Actually, I do think she was good, but after seeing her skill against Rose, I think she's bad, to be honest with you. And, Amanda Hebos beat her. Mackenzie Dern beat her on the feet. She has shit stand-up. Let's just say it how it is. She usually wins by putting a pace on her opponents and out-wrestling them and just out-strengthening them. Godinez won't let that happen. She's on a good winning streak, beating Tabitha Ricci. I think she'll go out there and piece up, what's her name on the feet for 3 rounds? Murder Janaroba. I think she'll piece up Janaroba for 3 rounds and win herself a 29-28 decision. Close fight, but I think Godinez gets it done. We move on. Up the card. Nate the Train versus Jamal Emmers. I'm gonna go Jamal Emmers. This is the issue, man. Nate the Train. I'm gonna be honest, I think the Dan Ige fight was just a little bit of a step up. Because he beat Austin Lingo. I know he was on a good winning streak and it wasn't his fault that his opponents backed out of the fight. So he just took on Lingo and beat him. But come on. Ige was a bit of a step up the rankings. You know? And he got dropped a lot in that fight. Had a close 3rd round, but lost it. I'm going to go with Emmers, though. I think Emmers is really underrated. I'm going to be honest with you. You know, he arguably beat Jack Jenkins in their fight. Beat Dennis Bazooka. Beat that Kuzin Ashkabov dude who was 23-0. You know? And Nate Landwehr. Also lost to Sabatini, but it happens. You get heel hooked. It happens once in a while. But Landwehr, I just don't think he has good stand-up. I think personally he'll get KO'd in the 1st round. David Onama dropped him. Ige dropped him. I think Emmers is really good. I want to see Emmers Ige. I think that'd be a good fight. I also would probably go Emmers, to be honest with you. He's skilled as fuck, Emmers. I think he'll get a 1st round KO. He trains at Pinnacle MMA. That's, you know, all the guys are at that gym. I think he'll go out there and KO Landwehr in the 1st round. I don't think he'll get out grappled by Landwehr. I just don't see him gassing out to Landwehr. Although it is short notice. So if you're looking at that, place a bet on Landwehr, late finish. But I'm going to pick Emmers. I think he'll get it done. We move on. Up the card. And Landwehr is a cardio machine. But I got Emmers. Chidi Njokuani versus Reese McKee. Fuck, another tough fight on this card. Angelusa is not that good in hindsight, man. I never really thought Angelusa was all that. Because a lot of people overhyped him because he made he had a close fight with Madeleine on the Canada series, JDM. But he hasn't always been all that. And Angelusa beat him. I don't rate Jim Wallhead that much anymore. Justin Burlinson's a good win. But he came back and won because Burlinson hurt his hand. I'm going to go Chidi Njokuani. I trust him to beat Reese McKee. Although he doesn't have any fucking heart, Chidi Njokuani. This is it for him. If he loses this, he's done. Mikhail Oleksiejczyk's pretty good. Albert Duraev arguably beat him in that fight, in my opinion. Rodriguez is good. Reese McKee is... I just don't think he's that, man. I don't think he's that good. If I'm going to be really honest with you. Yeah, I mean, Who did he beat? He beat Justin Burlinson, he beat. Yeah, I just don't see him winning this one, to be honest with you. I don't see him winning this one. He beat Jim Wallhead, who's an old man. How old's Jim Wallhead? He's an old man. He looks like a fucking old... Yeah, he's 40 years old. Yeah, I'm going to go with Chidi Njokuani being too good for him. I'll say he gets a 1st round KO, sparking KO, highlight reel over Reese McKee. We move on. Up the card. Nursultan Ruziboev versus Cedric Damas. I'm going to go with Nursultan Ruziboev over Cedric Damas. This is a pretty self-explanatory prediction to make. Yeah, Cedric Damas is just not that good. He's 9-1. 9-1 in his career compared to a 33-8-2 record. Opponent, and he barely beat Abu Azaitar, and he beat Cody Brundage. These aren't wins that will say, oh, you're going to beat Cedric, or what's his name, Nursultan Ruziboev. If he wins, fucking crazy, good for him, because Josh Fremd beat him, for fuck's sake. But I'm gonna go Nursultan. He's better than him. Nursultan Black Ruziboev. Great nickname. He looked great against Bruno Ferreira. Looked great against Bruno Ferreira. Knocked him out first round. And he's on a huge winning streak. His last loss was 2019. So I'm going to go for him winning against Cedric Dumas any way he wants. Dumas doesn't have power, and he's not out-grappling Ruziboev. We move on. Oh, I skipped Algio Nelson accidentally. Bill Algio versus Kyle Nelson. I'm going to go with... fuck. This is tough, because I was thinking Algio could win. But seeing that Padilla... What's his name? Michael Padilla? Fernando Padilla, that's his name. Fernando Padilla got a KO last weekend. It made me think, like, Kyle Nelson's not bad. Bill Algio is really good, though, man. Shit. Kyle Nelson, you fucking idiot, man. He beat Blake Builder, beat Fernando Padilla. And now he's fighting Algio, who beat Hernandez and beat TJ Brown. Lost to Philly, though. That could have been... honestly, should be on a 5-fight winning streak right now. He should have beaten Philly, in my opinion. And he should have beaten Ramos as well. Yeah, he should be... all his losses, other than the Lamas fight in his debut, should be, like... he should be on a freaking 6-fight winning streak, if we're going to be honest right now. 7-fight winning streak. He beat Spike Carlisle as well. I'll pick him to beat Kyle Nelson, just because Nelson is sloppy on the feet sometimes. I think he is going to beat the likes of Kyle Nelson. I think he'll outstrike him, be slicker on the back foot, and I think he'll beat Kyle Nelson. And I think he'll beat him unanimous decision 30-27. Frustrates Nelson for 3 rounds. I think he gets it done. We move on up the card. Bruno Silva versus Chris Weidman. I'm going to go Weidman, losing. Got you there. Weidman's good, though. You know what? Yeah. Silva got out-wrestled by Andrew Sanchez back in the day. Silva, fuck. This is a thing, though, because Silva can just KO him first round. I legit was thinking, you know what, Silva easy, but then I thought, you know what, Silva got wrestled by Andrew fucking Sanchez. If Weidman can mix in those takedowns... oh, Sanchez is not a wrestler, he's a striker. But Weidman could just get KO'd, that's the thing. Because Weidman lost to Tavares, and Silva slept Tavares in the first round. And I can just see Weidman getting KO'd, but... I'm gonna go Chris Weidman, actually. Now I think about it. He could get KO'd, though. That's the thing. And the whole prediction's fucking ruined. Mearshart beat fucking... what's his name? Shera beat him. Allen beat him. It depends what Bruno Silva shows up and what Weidman shows up, really. But... didn't look good against Tavares. But I think Weidman... he beat Amari Akhmedov. He has these performances, man, where he just wins. He lost to Reyes, lost to Souza. Beats Gastelum, though. But we're going back now. I don't know, man. You know what? I don't think Silva's all that. He didn't make it close to Pereira, though. That's the thing. Fuck! Got grappled by Andrew Sanchez, and since then got dropped by Mearshart. Lost to Shera on the feet. That's nothing much, though. Shera's pretty good, and it's not Weidman. Shera's not Weidman. Shera's 100 times million better. 100 million times better than Weidman on the feet now. But fucking Allen submitted him on the ground. Dropped him. Oh, Silva could just KO him on the feet, though. I'm going Weidman. Fuck it. I think he'll out-wrestle Silva to a win. I think he can do it. It was his comeback fight against Tavares. What do you expect? He's not going to be peak form. Plus, he didn't get finished in that fight. Plus, it's a bad stylistic matchup. You're not going to out-wrestle Tavares. and Bruno Silva Cote d'Ivoire. It's all stylistic matchups. Sanchez out-wrestled fucking Silva on the feet. Or he out-wrestled him on the feet. No, he out-wrestled him on the ground for 3 rounds till he got a late finish. And it's Andrew Sanchez. Weidman's beating this guy easily. Let's go Chris Weidman. We move on. Up the card. Vicente Luque versus Joaquin Buckley. Let's speed this up. I'm going to go with Vicente Luque. I just think there's so many ways to beat Luque. Buckley has fucking none of them. That's the sad part for Joaquin Buckley, in my opinion. He just doesn't have any of them. To beat Luque, you want to be a rangy striker. You can be a rangy striker at range, like Stephen Thompson, or any of these guys that have beaten Luque in the past. Edwards. And you want to just pick at him. Be taller and be lankier and be more rangier than Luque. That's how you can beat Vicente Luque. You can be a heavy wrestler and beat Vicente Luque. That's also a way you can beat Vicente Luque. Is Buckley rangy? He is. Buckley is rangy. Do I think he's just going to pick apart... They're both the same reach, by the way. So that cancels it out. Luque's an inch taller than him, so that's canceled out. Does Buckley wrestle? He did against Abdulrazak Al-Hassan, but he hasn't since, so I'm not going to trust him just to out-wrestle Luque. I just don't see him doing it. Last but not least, if you want to KO Luque on the feet, you got to be Jeff Neal. Good defensive boxing, good chin, big fucking power. Buckley's got power, doesn't have a good chin though. Doesn't have the boxing defense. Leaves openings. That's what Tyron Woodley was at the end of the day. Had big power, but didn't have the chin anymore. Didn't have the grit. Buckley has the grit, but I'm going to cancel that out. He didn't have the boxing defense. Didn't have the chin. And I think this will be similar to the Woodley fight of Luque. And I think Buckley's just going to get chinned in the first round. I can see that happening. Or getting rocked badly to where he shoots a takedown and gets stars. But I'm going to say he gets KO'd in the first round. So I'm going to go Luque. Buckley doesn't have the chin, in my opinion. Doesn't have the boxing defense like Jeff Neal. And doesn't wrestle like Bilal Muhammad. Or doesn't poke at Luque at range like Wonderboy. And Buckley, he looked good against RDA. And again, if you're not going to finish Alex Morono, you're not finishing Vicente Luque. But MMA math makes no sense. But I'm going to go Luque, getting a quick KO. We move on up the card. Rooting for Buckley, though. But yeah. We move on up the card. Aaron Blanchfield versus Manon Fiorot. I'm going to go with... My gut is telling me Fiorot beats Aaron Blanchfield. But I'm gonna trust my gut. I'm going Manon Fiorot over Aaron Blanchfield. I just know someone can beat Aaron Blanchfield. And she isn't gonna be a champ. I don't allow that. She doesn't have the fucking stand-up. At least Shevchenko has somewhat of a ground game and has really good stand-up. Blanchfield does not have good stand-up. I'm sick of people saying she's good on the feet. She isn't. Fiorot, we've seen her on the ground. She's stuffed takedowns before. She's strong. She's aggressive. I don't think Blanchfield's going to out-grapple her as easy as people think. She had a shit performance against Tyler Santos to where that was a bad fight, and she's worse than Santos on the feet by far, which is terrible because Santos is not even a striker. She's terrible on the feet herself. Fiorot's levels above both of them. And Santos. Especially Santos. She had to use the Merab Aldo technique. Knee her in the thigh for 2 rounds and win the decision. She's not doing that here, I don't think. Because it's her hometown, New Jersey, Atlantic City, whatever it is. Main event, if you want a title shot, you gotta perform well. Not knee her in the thigh on a... Where was that fight? Blanchfield versus Santos was on Holloway Zombie, Singapore, main card. You can get away with that, not the main event of a crowded fight night. I'm gonna go for Fiorot. I think she'll piece up Blanchfield at range. More aggressive in her shots. I don't know who I picked in Blanchfield Santos. I think I picked Blanchfield, but I don't know. But I'm doubting Blanchfield here. I don't think she's as legit as people make her out to be. She's good on the ground, but Molly McCann is nothing. You know, she's nothing on the ground. Look what Julia Stolyarenko did to her on the ground as well. Quicker than fucking McCann, than Blanchfield's win as well. You know? And she beat Jessica Andrade on short notice. Andrade, you can do that to Andrade nowadays. You know? I'm going to keep doubting Blanchfield. I think these are bad matchups for her. Fiorot could take down defense. I know she didn't look great against Rose, but it's Rose and Namajunas. And Rose came to show up in that fight. And she won. I'm going to go Fiorot. She's good on the feet. And I think people are forgetting who Fiorot really is. She's a good fighter in the women's division. She's a really good fighter. Great striker. Yeah. She schooled Maribona Silva for 3 rounds. Beat Caitlin Chookagian, who was beating everyone as the number 1 contender at the time. Remember, she was the gatekeeper of the division. Fiorot broke through and beat her. Alright, could have gotten a title shot right after against Shevchenko, but declined it. Didn't want to rush herself. Instead, she took on Namajunas, now Blanchfield. I think she'll go out there and beat Blanchfield. And I think she'll either drop her early. I think she'll drop her early on her ass. If Blanchfield, look at her fight against JJ. I know people improve. Look at her fight against JJ Aldrich. Rewatch that fight. I know you don't want to. Whatever, I don't want to either. But she couldn't get a takedown. She had to get a standing guillotine in round fucking 4. Or 3, sorry. 3-rounder in that fight. Alright? She had to get a late finish. She had to get a late finish to come back. I'm picking Fiorot to beat her. Anyways, like, subscribe, thank you for watching. Full card predictions. Peace.